forgot it was on the back of my truck, and I turned the corner. Yeah, it came sliding off the truck in the street. And it just so happened a friendly car was just sitting there to stop it from sliding all the way across the street.
Damn.
But it wasn't much damage. And, you know, being connected, it ain't no big issue.
No, okay. I wish I was connected.
It was a funny story anyway. The dude was like, "What about my truck?" I said, "Your truck is well taken care of, sir. Don't worry about it." I call my Trini buddies.
Now that I'm back. Like I was trying to say earlier, everybody, again, apologize for the delays, but Johnny Black has been giving out his donations. So if your institution made the NCAA tournament, your donations will be settled up. Langston University the other night, and I know we decided not to focus on basketball on this podcast, but Langston University was in the NAIA National Championship game, and they failed. They actually lost the game pretty much on a no call, on an inbound. The refs didn't call. The inbound got stolen, and that was the game. So it was an exciting game. I'm still trying to figure out how the tip-in three-pointer did not make top 10, like ESPN. What's going on with y'all? So
is that even a thing anymore? They still do that?
Yeah, they still do that. Dang. They still do that, and they definitely do the not top 10.
Oh, but, yeah.
Well, fellas, it is opening day in baseball. Opening day, and
bring back the long ball.
In football?
In baseball. Bring back the long ball.
No, not the long ball, because when I say the long ball, I get in trouble because, you know, y'all want to celebrate a dude that showed up to work 1,400 times. I'm just saying.
What is the long ball in baseball?
The home run.
Home run hit.
Okay. Do people not hit home runs anymore? Mike Trout just hit a home run today.
I mean, they hit home runs, but you know, it was a time, and we getting to be that time again where people don't watch baseball like they used to.
Wait, it was like that before?
It was.
And then they started juicing?
And then they started hitting the ball out the ballpark. I'm not going to say they juicing because it wasn't against the rules then. So to say, oh, well, he was on steroids, it wasn't performance enhancing because it wasn't against the rules. I'm not trying to hear your new narrative about what was. No. It wasn't no cheating because there was no rule against it.
Should Pete Rose be in the Hall of Fame?
No.
Ooh, you know what?
No.
I don't know. I'm not very hip to Pete Rose, but I've been hearing his story since all this
gambling happened. He should.
Betting on baseball cost him everything he ever wanted in life.
Yeah, know, but does that change what he did on the field?
Absolutely not.
No, I don't.
So why shouldn't he be in the Hall of Fame?
Because you damage the integrity of the sport.
That's fair.
Because not only did he bet on baseball, but he bet on games that he played in.
Yeah. To win.
Yeah, I think it's something else. If you're betting on yourself to win, like if you're betting on your team to lose, that's something. But if you're betting on yourself to win, like who's mad at that?
Not it.
Is there an account of every bet that he ever placed?
Yeah, actually.
Probably not. There is?
No, there is.
What? Wasn't that way back in the day?
They had a mock trial on ESPN of all the evidence that the feds had, that Major League Baseball had. They had every time he called the bookie from the clubhouse. They had every time his friend made a bet for him. They had it all.
And I don't believe he bet every time on himself to win.
Ooh.
Like that guy up in Toronto betting on himself on the under on prop bets.
Yeah.
Same situation.
Yeah.
So since we here, and since there's a lot across multiple sports, there's a lot of hubbub about gambling in sports. So are we saying that we believe Shohei?
Man.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
You do?
Heck yeah.
Why?
Where's the evidence that he didn't?
Well, first off, the first story was Shohei helped him pay it off. Then 2 days later, the story was, oh no, Shohei knew nothing about it. Come on now.
So that means he did it. Like there's no evidence until they show me where he placed the bet or where he told somebody to place the bet for him. It is impossible for me to say he did something. That's what's wrong with us in America today.
So we
guilty until proven innocent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And
I mean, you can be guilty.
He just signed the richest and was going to sign the richest contract in the history of baseball.
Right.
What is his motivation for betting? Peanuts. Even if it was what? He has a problem?
Maybe. We don't know.
Can any bookie come out and say, Shohei, bet with me? There is nothing. If it was, it would already be out.
Yeah.
That's how the media works.
But the question is, how do you not notice $4.5 million out of your account?
You just signed the richest contract in the history of baseball, and you're taking how much? You're getting paid how much now until the end of your career?
So
most of his contract is deferred, though. A lot of
he's
not deferred.
He's not worried about money.
So we're saying that this translator stole money from him.
Yeah.
Right. So that's what the story is right now.
There's some very important questions that are not being answered, and he spent a very long time convincing a lot of reporters that he was so taken aback and so forthcoming about what has happened. However, I am very, very vocal about the lack of journalism in this day and age.
True journalism.
Why are we showing up to a press conference where you can't ask questions? That tells me you have something to hide. Period.
You're talking about as a journalist, you have something to hide?
No, I'm talking about Shohei Ohtani having a no question.
I disagree. You come to my if I call a press conference and I tell you that there's not going to be any questions asked, and you come thinking I'm going to answer questions, then you just came for nothing.
But here's the thing, and I'm gonna tell you why we have no question asked. It's basically without him saying I invoke my Fifth Amendment right. This is basically what he's saying without saying it. I'm not about to self-incriminate myself, but I do have something to say to y'all.
But that doesn't always mean you're guilty.
It doesn't, but it don't look good. It doesn't mean that you're guilty, but it don't look good. It's like, it's kind of like a double-edged sword. Like, do I not say nothing? Because not saying nothing, you look guilty. But then if you say something, you know what I mean? Yourself. You incriminate yourself. So let me meet y'all in the middle. I'm going to say something, but y'all can't ask me shit.
I like that. Yeah. I'm not going to lie. That might have been the safest option for him, to be real.
Yeah, he probably couldn't have understood the questions anyway, because it would have been asked in English.
No, they'd have asked the translator.
Right. Nice. The new translator.
Nah, they're going to ask the old one.
Did you guys see some of those memes when the first story first broke? They were talking about like people would ask Shohei's questions and his interpreter would or Shohei would say stuff and the interpreter would like say it differently than how he actually said it. And he's Japanese, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
In Japanese, yeah.
So have y'all watched the show? It's on Hulu called Shogun.
Yes.
Man, I need to see that. My friends are raving about it.
It is really good, but like most of the show is like this, this white Englishman that washed up in Japan, and he has this Japanese translator that follows him around everywhere. And some of the times when she say shit, when he say shit, she don't translate the way he say it, and then when they say something to him, she don't say it exactly what they said. So
that's how it be with Shohei and his translator.
Exactly.
And then getting back to the press conference, it's not that he's trying to incriminate himself. It is you want the press to promote your narrative, but you don't want to give all the information. That's my problem.
I guarantee you, Shohei did not want to do a press conference. I can assure you.
But it looks worse if you don't say anything. It looks worse if you don't say anything.
He said, I'll do it, but this is how it's going to be.
So, but yeah.
I think he's innocent.
It won't, based on Rob Manfred's press release about it, they're going to have an accelerated investigation. I am not comfortable in what they will or won't find. Because whenever you rush, you are really not trying to find, you're just trying to get to a conclusion.
This is the biggest guy in the sport. Of course they're trying to get to a conclusion.
Yeah.
They don't want this to become a distraction during the season, which I 100% understand. Mm-hmm. The problem that lies is where the money is being transferred to the translator. Can you prove what the money was there for? Because as Denzel taught us on training day, it ain't about what you know. It's about what you can prove. Mm-hmm. So during this investigation, if they're not able to prove anything, they just kind of know some shit just based on, pretty much common knowledge or not being stupid when you're looking at facts. But can you prove it?
I'm going to tell y'all the trigger words. They said they're going to do an accelerated investigation, which means all the investigating that they're going to do has already been done. These are people who hire former CIA, former FBI, former intel people to follow players around. Like this, what hasn't been known ain't gonna be known, because all the information that they're gonna get is already out there, and all the information that has been provided says he ain't do it.
Mm-hmm. The thing about them, like, not being able to prove it is like with betting and all this stuff these days, it's all digital. There's a digital footprint for where this money went and who it went to. So the fact that they say they're going to accelerate the process, and if they come out and say we couldn't find anything, come on now,
bro. What the feds are going to find is going to be greater than what Major League Baseball finds.
Oh, of course.
Because baseball was never trying to go after Shohei. They stumbled onto him. He was an accident.
Mm-hmm. They're not. This, I told you. ESPN sent their reporters there for how long, you said, Troy? Some months.
It was months. And they
were there for months.
This was going on over a year, because remember, they were catching football players, they were catching scouts, they were catching former minor league players. They
college players, Iowa.
Yeah, college players. Iowa. They wasn't looking. They were just trying to get the guy behind the betting organization in court.
This is my point. If you validate my point, if there was anything there that could be found, it would have already been found.
They have the smoking gun. They got the wide transfers.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When they found all these college players, and even when they found the Lions players, that info came out like that. They knew exactly what bets were placed. They knew when they were placed. They knew who they were placed on. And right now, it's like, so that he lost $4.5 million, but what was it bet on? What bets? And I mean, it seems
that's
like
what's being investigated. That's what. Let's just keep it a buck. They're trying to see if he bet on baseball. That's it. It wouldn't matter if it was. Even if his interpreter takes the fall. Remember, they said the interpreter never bet on baseball. You want to know why that's important? Because they pretty much know MLB has associated the interpreter betting as his bets. All they trying to do is find out if one bet was bet on baseball. If
they do find that, what happens?
Nothing.
He's done.
He didn't bet anything. They've already proven that.
You saying they found that the interpreter bet on baseball, Ohtani is done?
I'm gonna make this real simple. If I steal $20 million and then my interpreter wires $20 million to the mob out of my bank account, who going to jail?
Yes, the fact that it's his bank account. Like, how does he get access to his bank account?
When I tell you, I already know what they're looking for. They're looking for one bet. One bet on baseball. That's it.
But here's the thing. Even if there is a bet on baseball, can they prove that it was Ohtani and not the interpreter?
The feds are not going to, I'm going with the feds. Damn Major League Baseball, the feds. The feds are not going to ask the question, well, is it Ohtani or is it the interpreter? The feds are going to go, this is your bank account registered to you in your name.
Yeah, but that's not illegal, federally illegal.
Oh, wire fraud to a betting organization is illegal, and that's wire fraud.
Yeah, that is.
Wait. What makes it wire fraud? What makes it wire fraud?
Because it's an illegal action using wire services to move money. That's how they get all the gangsters now. Yes.
Wait, why is it illegal to move money?
It's not wire fraud. He gave it to
for illegal betting.
Oh, because he went through a bookie instead of like going through okay.
If he had wired it to Caesars, it would be nothing to talk about. We ain't talking about it.
Because they are in California, which does not allow betting in the manner that they did it. Okay. So yes, that would be a federal crime. But then what are the baseball sanctions? What is MLB gonna do? Because just because it does come from his account and they're saying it's the interpreter, can you hold him accountable in Major League Baseball wise? Which would be as long as the feds. Remember, we just had the same situation with NCAA basketball with these coaches. Arizona coach got off. Will Wade got off.
All these guys were gambling? They were gambling?
No, they were having surrogates send players money to come to the university.
But it's different.
Hold on, it's not different because here's what happened.
Absolutely.
If everybody remember, Chuck Person in Auburn went on federal probation for the wire fraud.
If Shohei Ohtani had money wired to his interpreter, because that's what it sounds like.
It didn't go to the interpreter. It went to the bookie. Where
it went from his account to the bookie. From his account to the bookie. Straight.
Yeah. No in-betweens.
Yeah. When you transfer, who authorized the transfer?
Exactly. When you transfer that much money, there are
checks and balances.
There are some checks in place when the money is getting moved. There's access codes, there's voice verifications, there's all kinds of things because you're moving a lot of money. This isn't I'm just about to log on a computer and move $4 million. You cannot do that.
My next question too about the 4.5 is, since he says he has a gambling problem, was it all one succinct, take 4.5 out, or was it just like, a bet here, a bet here, a bet there? Because that's a lot of money. Like, there's no way you can put 4.5 on one bet.
I'm pretty sure it was over time.
Hold on, Sam. What bookie gives a basic interpreter $4 million in credit?
None.
Nobody. You'll be out of business. It's definitely fishy. No matter which side of the fence you're on, it's a fishy situation. 100%.
You'll be in a hole out there in the Nevada desert playing around with $4 million.
Yeah, facts.
For real. So, I mean, we can go down a whole different hole with who is giving him credit and all this other stuff. But like I said,
and behind him. I'm telling you, they just made one of the largest investment in one individual player.
I know.
If you think this is going anywhere, I got this waterfront property in North Dakota that I want you to take a look at.
I said again, and I'm gonna say it again. They are going after the better. Just like they wasn't going after the Fab Five, they was going after the guy behind it. They weren't going after the coaches in the NCAAs. They were going after the companies that were actually bankrolling the money to give to the kids that allow these schools to get these players in. They are not going after the people doing it, but the people behind it. And they're doing that for a reason. Do I think Shohei Ohtani is going to be federally charged? No. But if the records come, well, they already have where the money came from.
Yeah.
If these reporters at ESPN are given the green light to report wherever this goes, he's done.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. Is imagine if they find out Ohtani did, in fact, he was the one who made the bets and the interpreter was just the fall guy. Is Ohtani banned? Like, do they ban the best player in the game?
For life.
Oh, you think they would do that?
Yes. These little white reporters that don't have a chance in hell to ever do anything athletic that keep people out of the Hall of Fame over steroids, yes, he will be banned for life.
But the reporters, I get what you're saying about the Hall of Fame, but they don't get to decide if he's in the MLB or not.
The reporters in baseball, unlike any other sport, have more weight based on how they report stories than anything else. Alex Rodriguez story, it should have been a nothing burger. It became big because the lies kept getting bigger and reporters kept digging.
It's still a nothing burger.
If
Alex, you talking about the steroid story?
Yeah. That's the weird thing about baseball is that I wish baseball stories drives baseball. The same way I complain about the reason we don't have this and that in HBCUs and why we don't know, because the reporting is not there. You don't have stories to report. There's nothing invested. Baseball has built an entire industry over investing in the stories of players. There is absolutely no reason we should know the upbringing of kids in the Dominican Republic and how they get here. However, baseball likes to promote that. Baseball does not. No, I'm not going to get on my high horse, but it's the story drivers that run baseball, period.
I just recently found out that Derek Jeter was half black.
Really?
That's because baseball wanted you to know that.
They made sure we knew it.
Mm-hmm.
What, did you watch his doc? Wasn't his doc on like HBO?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I watched
that. But it's like, of course they showed us that, you know.
Of course. No, his doc was actually on, I think it was a 30 for 30, like a multi-series.
Oh, yeah, it was. It's 30 for 30, yeah.
It was 30 for 30, yeah.
So, but it's...
See, there isn't a more, what's the word, strict fan base / reporting outlet outside of baseball. Like, the scrutiny that they hold their players to is above every other sport.
Name somebody outside of like the guys we've already named who was unfairly scrutinized in baseball.
Barry Bonds.
Barry Bonds, for one.
Oh, facts.
Because Barry Bonds never tested positive, but yet there's all this negative shit that they have to say about him.
And he's got the record, right? Technically, he's got the record. Asterisk, technically, he's got the record.
Yeah, no,
there's no asterisk. There's no asterisk because he's never tested positive for anything.
But don't people not like to mention him when they mention the home run record? Or what record did he have?
The home run.
Okay.
But that's what we're talking about, though. Like, even somebody who never tested positive, never proven to have done anything, they still hold that against him.
Yeah.
Is he in the Hall of Fame?
Is he? I was about to ask. That was my next question.
Troy would know.
Who's that? Barry Bonds?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Neither is black. What? Neither is. So there's a Black Sox story. And the Chicago Black Sox had a betting scandal in the World Series. Joe Jackson should have been in the Hall of Fame. He will never get in the Hall of Fame because the teammates he had, Shoeless Joe Jackson, his teammates bet on the World Series, so they will not let him in. This happened in 1911.
Did they win?
Do you understand? He's never going to get in.
Did they win the game though?
No. They lost.
Did his teammate throw the game?
They had said that they threw a game, that they point shade. It was nasty.
I keep saying game. I forget they play a series in baseball.
Yep. Yeah. It is. It's a few documentaries on it, but everything that I've seen, like Shoeless Joe Jackson didn't know anything about. But again, I'm just showing you an example of how baseball writers determine what's happening in baseball. And the commissioner, listen, Faye Vincent, I believe, was the commissioner doing Pete Rose scandal. And they gave Pete Rose an out. Say you bet on baseball, we'll slap you on the wrist, give you a few years to sit outside, and then we'll get you in the Hall of Fame. Pete said, no, I ain't doing that.
And he is still not in the Hall of Fame.
The proceeding or each commissioner since Faye have said that they will keep Faye's wishes, commissioner to commissioner, and keep Pete Rose out of the Baseball Hall of Fame.
Yep.
They will not unsuspend him. Which is crazy. But again, we went down a big old rabbit hole to say that, like, this is a big story in baseball. And baseball has one of the few sports that have real journalists left. I saw Kirkston on the Dan Dubitar show. There's an actual clip for it. And the clip talks about, if Shohei bet on baseball. And Kirkston said quickly, if he bet on baseball, he done.
Gotta be.
And if Kirkston is saying this, I'm just a little podcaster. I don't have access to the halls of baseball that he got. He's telling you that.
They take it serious.
For real. He's telling you that.
Let me ask you this, Troy. What separates, so you say baseball has the real journalists. What separates the real journalists from the phonies that we have these days?
So, and I don't want to, hey.
You don't have to answer if you don't want to.
No, I'm gonna answer. I'm gonna answer because you've seen my Twitter. I've been very, very, very active about journalism. Journalism is an art. And I grew up with real sports reporters reading the newspaper, having to get the facts right. If they don't get the facts right, they print a retraction or they lose their jobs. Like it's a real thing. So like football reporters, to get access to players, they are very, I'm trying to be judicious. They're very light in their reporting. They don't want to mess up their relationships. They don't want to mess up their access. So they're not going to report the story that needs to be reported, but they'll report the fluff. We get a lot of fluff. We don't get a lot of reporting.
So we get like the headline, but not really a lot of meat and potatoes.
Yeah. We get a lot of headlines. So we get clickbait.
Yeah.
We get a lot of clickbait.
That is big on Twitter these days in the football world, football and basketball.
Like, there's going to be I promise you, there's going to be an article in the morning. Michael Penix runs a 4.640. That's going to be the clickbait.
He ran 4.45 though.
Yeah. They said this. Yeah, they said he killed it.
Yeah. Oh, it says I'm sorry. He posted a sub 4.640. So, which is like, I'll get to that later because him running, he'll never need to run. But the NFL reporters, we have a lot of, I'm going to go down this rabbit hole. We have a lot of attractive reporters. We have a lot of reporters who are friends of friends. Like, they're just friends.
Yeah.
There isn't,
you're saying like, it's like a good old boys club?
Yeah, you can go to some of these podcasts, and it's friendly podcasts, or it's reporters now being media.
What's the difference between a reporter and media?
So we're media. And so when I go through the videos, it's my job to find something that's going to catch the viewer's attention and hold them for 3 minutes or 6 minutes or whatever. A reporter's job is to report the news accurately and professionally, telling the truth and making sure you give your subjects an opportunity to respond before the article comes out, aka Kim Mulkey's article that we all waiting for.
That nobody should read, even though she told the world not to read it.
Right. And we should all read it. I've already given them my subscription money. So when it drops, you better believe I'm gonna be on Twitter going, ooh. So, but that's the reporter's job, and also protect sources. So for you guys that have followed the podcast, I had a scoop, and I let it be known that I have a scoop, and I let it be known that I had a scoop because I wanted everybody to know, hey, we found it first.
We did report it first too.
And every chance I get,
I actually guessed it first.
What was the scoop?
So I knew that Clemson was gonna file against the ACC before everybody else knew.
Yeah, you said that on Tuesday.
So, and I let it be known. And I don't I'm not a reporter, so I don't know if you should thump your chest. But I'm media. I'm gonna thump my chest. Yeah, I had this better than y'all did. Y'all get paid to do this. I'm doing this, 2 nights a week.
I've never heard that distinction between reporters and media. I always kind of just lumped them in together. But I get the differences.
Yeah. So, for instance, I like and respect Stephen A. This is not a shot. Stephen A., the reporter in Philly, is different than Stephen A., the media guy at ESPN, or Stephen A., the media guy on the Stephen A. Smith show. Those are two different guys.
Yeah.
Stephen A. Smith, reporter, love that guy. Gave us insight into Allen Iverson that we never even thought about.
He regrets some of that, though.
Yeah, he does. He admits he regrets some of that. But if I'm being honest, I prefer him regretting that than us not having a full view of Allen Iverson, the man, because we don't appreciate him the same. He has a story. He has meat and potatoes that we can hold on to and be like, man, that's the greatest little guy in the world. Now, we can have a debate about him and Isaiah, but we had the stories to go with it. Mm-hmm. These reporters now, people keep telling me LeBron James is the greatest. Why?
Here we go.
I'm not starting that debate. I'm talking about
here we go.
Nobody's writing his story, TP. That's what I'm saying. No, there isn't a reporter other than the dude that went from writing newspapers when he was in high school who LeBron James gave him a job. Let's just keep it a book. Because nobody was checking for him before LeBron James got drafted. Was writing about LeBron James when he was in high school.
You talking about Brian Windhorst?
Yep. Now he's on ESPN telling us all about basketball. That's fine. He's media. He's not a reporter. He's media.
Yeah.
Woj is a reporter.
Yeah. Shefty, Rappaport.
Yeah, those are reporters.
Yeah.
So
I was watching you know who's a real journalist / reporter, whatever you want to call it? Charlemagne the God. They had Mav Carter and I think his name is Paul Rivera, the guy who runs the shop. They had them on the Breakfast Club yesterday, and Charlemagne was sitting next to Mav, the guys who were closest to Bron, telling them that Jordan's better than LeBron. And he was giving them all the reasons and everything. It just, I don't know. I think what you're talking about is some of what Charlemagne does. He's not afraid to tell the truth, whether it's going to hurt somebody or not.
I think Charlemagne tries to blur that line between reporter and media. He does it for that's his Like, if you see some of his other interviews and commentary, it's almost stickish. Like,
he has a stick. He plays on the homosexual innuendo in almost everything. And it's disgusting because those people didn't ask you to do that.
He gives me cringy. It's
cringe. Yeah. I mean, that's his thing is his thing, and that's he's made a name for himself doing that thing. Now it has gotten him in some situations where he probably regret that he didn't, but that's
put some respect on my name.
Not even that. When he had a bona fide gangster in the studio, and he said, "You better find you something to play with. Don't play with me." Like, for real. I didn't have shootout with police.
He gives me somebody who wants to be at a certain level and thinks that he can say whatever he wants to say, and that there won't be no consequence for his words. But if you was from the hood, you'd understand that words will get you beat up.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
You say the wrong thing.
People jumped on when Lil Kim was going through her stuff, and he said some slick stuff. They caught him outside.
Exactly.
He had to get somewhere.
And I'll give you another example of a media type. Academics. DJ Academics is a media type.
Yeah.
Like I cannot tell you how many times I wish that he never had his access to hip hop. Because he's abused it.
I hate hearing some people talk, and he's one of them.
Like it's you. This thing, and I know we running over on this topic, but this thing that we do, even if we're media, we have a responsibility to do it in a manner that's respectful and entertaining. You can do both.
Yeah.
Like I make all the jokes. Like I say fuck Tom Brady all the time, but I'm respectful with my fuck Tom Brady. When I say neighbor lady, I make sure. When I say neighbor lady, I make sure people understand that if you think I'm making fun of Russell Wilson, I'm not calling him a bum. And even if I was calling him a bum, he's a bum in the NFL, which is the best football players in the world. So to be a bum amongst the best football players in the world,
still calling a Super Bowl MVP a bum is crazy.
I'm just saying, I never did that. But if I did, I'm saying that as,
wait,
you know what I'm saying?
You're a Raiders fan, right?
Yeah.
You got a bum behind you. What are we talking about?
Hold on.
You got a bum behind you right now, and you got a bum under center right now too. Let's talk about it.
Is that Derek Carr back there?
So first off,
now he got to change his background.
This background is the old background from when I was on the phone. So y'all can relax.
Your quarterback.
Our quarterback that got us to a playoffs. We ain't been to the playoffs since he was quarterback.
You was about to say Super Bowl. Chill out with that.
Chill out.
Because that was Rich Gannon, and that was a long time ago.
And it wasn't even his team.
No, we're not doing this. Derek Carr got us to the playoffs. He got injured.
No, I said Super Bowl. The last time y'all was in the Super Bowl, Rich Gannon was the starting quarterback. That was in the year 2003.
But you know what?
I got
receipts. Who they lost to?
I got
receipts. But PP, ask me a question. Who got all them Bucks draft picks and the $10 million?
What y'all do with it?
Rob them with no ski mask. The same thing. So stop acting like y'all went.
You're not winning this though. They won a Super Bowl since then.
The Bucks was in a 10-year disparity.
No, they weren't. No, they weren't.
Yes, they were.
No, they weren't.
Yes,
the ship had already been righted. They just couldn't get over the hump. They were at the cusp of being great, and it would have been that next year. I think whether it was Tony Dungy or John Gruden, they were still gonna make it far in the postseason.
No, I'm talking about that trade.
Yeah, you talk about the trade for John Gruden.
They went to the Super Bowl.
You talk about the trade for John. You talk about the trade for John Gruden. They literally traded for a coach.
Bowl, the Bucks went down here.
It don't matter. They got a ring out of the deal. What did y'all get?
And we didn't get nothing. I ain't gonna say a lot.
And they've been back.
Then who won though? And they've been back. So who really won in that situation? If you look at the short term, or you look 23 years down the line, who still did better? The Buccaneers have 2 Super Bowl rings. The Raiders still have
Troy.
0.
Fight back.
No. The Raiders have 2 Super Bowls, 3 Super Bowls. I'm sorry.
Not in that time frame.
In that time frame. I'm saying in that time frame.
You know what? I can stand on the fact we still got more Super Bowls than them. We can move on.
Y'all ain't won a Super Bowl since the 70s.
Since the 80s. Stop that.
And we were infants in the NFL when y'all had already won y'all other one. So what the hell are you talking about, sir?
They were still wearing cream.
I can't believe you just called Russ a bum and who you got behind you.
That's not crazy. What I said. That is not what I said. I said if I call
that man neighbor lady.
When I call him neighbor lady, they assume I'm calling him a bum. I'm not calling him a bum. I'm saying, dog,
you did. You said he was mediocre.
That is not a bump. Let me be
clear.
Baker Mayfield.
Baker Mayfield
is a bump.
Russell
Wilson is not Baker Mayfield.
You said he was below average.
I said he was mediocre. That's not below average. That's average. Okay. Why are we having this debate?
But still calling an NFL Super Bowl MVP average is crazy.
I want to know why y'all possessed by Theo. That's what I want.
I don't think he was Super Bowl MVP. I think the wasn't that linebacker Super Bowl MVP Malcolm Smith?
Did they give it to Malcolm Smith?
Yeah.
I think they gave it to that linebacker. I'm pretty sure they gave it to that linebacker.
He had a
Yeah.
Hello,
Super Bowl champ though.
You know what? Since we're talking about the Bucks, the Hall of Fame are going to honor Monte Kiffin, which is something that is well deserved.
Is that a coach?
Yep, Monte Kiffin,
coordinator.
Defense coordinator.
Is he related to Lane Kiffin?
He is.
That's Lane Kiffin, daddy.
Oh wow, never knew that.
Yes, sir. He is the inventor of the Tampa 2.
He is.
That makes sense now why it's called Tampa 2.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. They took it, and Tony Dungy took that same concept to Chicago and took them to a Super Bowl.
Indianapolis.
Indianapolis, my bad. Indianapolis.
Against Chicago.
So,
against Chicago. I was in Miami for that game, too.
By the way, like it is not well documented, and it should be. Lane Kiffin is the nicest guy you will ever meet.
Yeah.
Niceness.
You met him before?
Yep. I met him at we had a little league coaches clinic at Tampa Bay Stadium, or back then it was the Big Sombrero. And he just was as nice as you can be with them kids. I was just like, wow. That's
leaves an impression on you.
Yeah.
He's one of those coaches that you'll run through. Like, you wonder why his players that played under him would run through brick walls. Yeah.
So why?
I feel like he's very relatable for his players too. Like, he's not too removed from like what's going on socially. So like he's able to relate with his players much better than a lot of coaches out here these days.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
He's definitely like one of the top 5 defensive coordinators I can think of in my lifetime.
You know who I heard doesn't relate to his players well? Eric Bieniemy.
Man, I've heard that as well.
I've heard his players do not like him. I don't know what it is. I heard the same thing with Brian Flores. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I heard Eric Bieniemy's kind of real like old school, and he's like the type of coach that's not afraid to call out players. So sometimes that can rub guys the wrong way.
Yeah,
but you need that if you're trying to be good.
He won a Super Bowl being that OC.
I heard there was a comment made during the season that if Eric Bieniemy was still at Kansas City, there would not be that many drop balls.
Yeah.
Because he holds players
accountable. He holds them accountable.
So,
as you should, though.
Yep.
As you should.
See, I said it before, and I'm gonna say it again. Today's NFL has gotten soft.
With 2 F's.
Since you say that, Marlo, do you know there's a new kickoff rule?
There was 2 rules passed by the by the rules committee.
No hip tackle.
The drop hip.
You know
tackle.
what?
Hip drop.
We're gonna let Sam take this one because I saw a very interesting video of his. So how do you feel about the new tackle rule, Sam?
I think, from the league standpoint, and as an offensive player who's been injured from this type of tackle, it definitely poses a serious injury risk. I will say that. You see a lot of guys get injured with this tackle. But on the defensive side of things, what do you expect them to do? It's the AFC Championship game. Either I make this tackle or I'm going to get cut, or either I make this tackle and we lose. And the only way to hip tackle, like I'm at a bad angle, I'm behind him, I'm chasing him down, but I need to get him down. Like it's hard because now that you put this rule in, you're going to make guys think about, I'm running up on this guy, like, I can't tackle him this way or this like that. And like, I don't know. I just think it's too gray. Like, I think that's something that like, I understand the injury risk. And that's the thing I keep saying. I understand the injury risk, but I think that's something you should have just like left, like, we're not going to touch that because it's too gray. It's too gray. Like, I don't know. Like nobody trains their defenders to tackle like that. Nobody. And nobody goes out to the field and says, I'm about to hip drop tackle this guy. It's just the fact of the game, I think it's very hard. I think it's very difficult. I understand what they want their best players on the field. They've seen many of their best players, talking about the league, they've seen many of their best players get hurt by this tackle. So I understand where they're coming from, but it's just hard as a defender,
This rule is not going to make one heal. All it's going to do is give our offensive team an advantage. It ain't going to stop defenders from doing it. Because if I'm a defender,
until they start getting fined,
it's going to have to happen. Yeah. Like if I'm a defender and the game's on the line for us to go to the Super Bowl, for me to make this tackle, okay, let me give you an example. If Derrick Henry is breaking loose and I got him around the hips, what am I supposed to do? Then I think they should blow the play dead. If they want to take that tackle out of the game, once I get the hips and I'm going down, they better blow it dead.
Then we might as well just put flags on.
That's it.
I think
or play two-hand touch.
I think the whole motive is to stop players being snatched either backwards or you tangling up with their legs as they're going down. Because that's in a sense that's you can't avoid that when you're tackling from behind.
At all. Like even if you make it a diamond tackle and you wrap them up, they can get injured.
And you said you're an offensive player. I play defense. What do you want me to jump on this man back and go for a ride? Like
that's what I'm trying to say.
Like, and if I grab him around the waist, the only way to get him down is to use my own body weight to slow his momentum and drag him down.
And you're not even doing
that. I think it's gonna cause these refs to make some bad calls too, because like, sure, you can show the video and say, oh, this is what a hip drop tackle is. But as a ref, like, there's a split decision. And it's going to cost somebody a game. I know it's going to cost somebody a game. I can't wait because people are going to blow up all over the internet because it's going to be bad.
I honestly think they're not going to call it. And what's going to happen is players will just get fined for it after the fact. They will go and review it, and there'll just be fines handed out because it happens so fast. I don't think the refs are going to want to throw the whistle on it. It's kind of like
unless it's egregious.
Unless it's egregious, which I don't even understand how that could be egregious, but it takes me back to where they changed the rule to where offensive players were not supposed to lower their helmet to initiate contact. We don't see that called, but
they haven't called that damn rule.
They get fined though. Yeah, they do get fined.
They have gotten fined, but
big time last year too.
but you don't ever see it called. I think this will be a very similar situation. They did start calling the face mask on a player for stiff arm, and you put your, you grab a face mask, pull them down. Like we've all done that.
Yeah.
But they called that. They're not gonna call the hip drop tackle. It will be a fine.
Yeah. They said I can't remember who was talking. I think they were talking to Adam Schefter on the Pat McAfee show, and Adam was talking about how it'll probably be very active. That penalty will probably be pretty active in
preseason.
In the preseason. Yeah.
And in camp.
Yeah.
Because they have officials in camp.
But they don't hit. They're not hitting in camp.
Shit. They will hit in camp. On contact days? Oh yeah. And you trying to make it
down like that?
Okay. I go to training camp every year. And when they're in pads and it's one-on-ones, shit.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
It's contact. They ain't hitting the quarterback now.
Yeah.
They
like
ain't
inside run. Run, drills like that. Yeah.
And then when they have friendlies, like if they bring in other team, oh yeah, it's definitely
joint
contact.
Practice.
Why you think it be fights? Every year it's a fight on some joint practice. Every year.
So I've looked at some examples of rugby side tackles.
I saw that video.
There are going to be hip drop tackles that are going to go uncalled if they do it like that, because they're so fast they don't look like he's dropping his hips. But you naturally think, well, how is he bringing this guy down? Well, his center of gravity has dropped to the ground. There's a hip drop.
Yeah, technically,
right. Yeah. So, technically.
You either going to be hitting dudes on their shins, which is going to cause more lower leg injuries, or you're going to be hitting them on their shoulders and catching penalties for clotheslining. Like, it's not going to be good.
They think they taking injury out the game, but they just instituting a different tackle. Because, what's the name? Larry Fitzgerald said, just don't hit me low. I'll go down. He told the other DBs on the other team that. He said, don't hit me low, I'll go down.
You're trying to protect his career.
Yeah. He said, if there was a hit that you could take on me, and it was low, I'll go down. Don't worry about it. We good.
Like Deshaun Jackson. When did you ever see Deshaun Jackson take a hit? He was running out of bounds, or he was going to fall down.
Do you not remember that play where he got somersaulted?
That's probably why he started getting down.
No. Deshaun Jackson took one of the hardest hits I've ever seen.
Yeah. Who was he with? The Philly?
Yeah, he was on the Eagles. It was when he was on the Eagles. He was coming across the middle, and the DB came down because they were in the zone. And as soon as he went to put his hands on the ball, the DB hit him, and they both.
Oh, I think I've seen that.
They both spent. One of the hardest hits. Neither one of them got up.
Yeah.
That was and that DB got fined like $40,000.
I'm sure.
Because it was an outrageously bad hit. Like direct contact to the head. I think Deshaun missed like 2 or 3 games with a severe concussion. Like, it was bad.
Now, hits like that, okay. I do agree that needs to be removed out the game. But if I am engaged in a player and I don't have their collar, and it's not a horse collar tackle, like, what are we doing? What are we doing?
You are 100% correct. But, the NFL finds out they go too far and they go backwards. But, hey, it is what it is.
All about protecting that bottom line.
But explain the kickoff rule, Troy. I don't know if we got off topic. Explain the kickoff rule.
Yeah, the new kickoff rule. So the two teams are on, I think, the 30 or 35-yard line of the opposing of the receiving team, and nobody can move until the returner catches the ball.
What?
You got if you guys, I think I got the rules in my notes right here. If you guys want me to read them.
Yeah, here it is. So.
Okay.
Any kick that is caught or lands in the landing zone must be returned, while any kick that falls short of the landing zone will be ruled a touchback and spotted at the returning team's 40-yard line.
40-yard line.
They're trying to make it so that you penalize the guys for not kicking it far enough. It's like you want to kick it to them, and they're trying to make it so that either you return it or it's going to be penalized. Like not penalized like a penalty, but like yardage wise, you're going to get penalized for not returning it. I think it's going to be a good idea.
So before we get to this idea, I'm going to get back on my soapbox. Before we do this, Billy White Shoes Johnson and Mel Gray got to get into the Hall of Fame. I am not getting off that soapbox.
What did they do?
Without Billy White Shoes, we're not celebrating nothing. There's no touchdown celebrations without Billy White Shoes.
Oh, yeah.
Period. And if you look at his return numbers, his accolades are greater than the returner they put in the Hall of Fame. I say that, but you know, everybody loves them Ibis people.
Devin, you talking about Devin Hester?
That's one of them Ibis people.
Nobody has as many punt return touchdowns as Devin Hester. Stop it. He has 17.
Again,
the closest person to him had 9.
Wait, so you're saying the Houston Oilers should not get in the Hall of Fame?
I didn't say that.
You just mad because he went to Miami. You just mad because he went to Miami.
No, that's what we're not gonna do. We're not gonna disrespect Devin Hester in the process. We can talk. We can plead for Billy White Shoes as an Oilers fan. Absolutely, he needs to be in the Hall of Fame. Returners deserve a specific category in the Hall of Fame. Just like coaches, just like kickers, they are special teams. Special teams matter. Special teams can win you a game. Special teams can also lose you a game.
Facts.
So it should be something that's mentioned, you know, as far as the voting process. But Devin Hester has 8 more punt return touchdowns than the nearest person. So yeah.
The Buffalo Bills had a gunner that was special teams, all NFL for
like
many years.
All pro?
Yeah, all pro. Special teams all pro for many years, and he's not in the Hall of Fame. Will Tasker, Steve Tasker? Mm-hmm. Just run down and smash people for years.
You said he's not in the Hall of Fame?
He's not in the Hall of Fame.
I think Matthew Slater will be in the Hall of Fame.
So we need to really take a look at why certain people get in, why certain people don't. So, but that's the new NFL kickoff rule, which it came from the XFL. And to be honest, a lot of stuff that you see today, especially as far as camera angles, fly over cameras in the middle of the field, that came from the XFL. That's not an NFL thing. That came from the XFL. So a lot of the XFL stuff that people don't give credit to the XFL for, you enjoying it every day. And this is another one of those. So maybe it'll be a good thing.
The only reason I think this rule is a good thing is because it's going to, like, we're going to see more returns. It might not be like everybody wants it to be, like, look how everybody's used to it looking, but we are going to see people returning the ball, and that's why I'm happy. They said, I can't remember what they said, but they said an astronomical number of returns of kick return balls were not returned last year. Like, it might have been lowest it's ever been. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, the play literally doesn't even mean anything.
Yep, single digits. So
there wasn't one return in the Super Bowl.
Nope.
You remember when Chicago and Indianapolis played? Who took that mug to the crib? First play of the game?
First play, kickoff.
We don't talk about that dude. We don't talk about that dude.
From Miami. The GOAT.
We're not going to say that them people didn't go there at the same time. Just the disrespect. Just anyway. So, Malo, in your division, do y'all got ample protection for y'all quarterback?
Oh yeah, we do. We look real good.
The Davion Clowney is now a member of the Panthers.
Oh yeah, their team suck.
That don't really move the needle.
at all. Why has he been on? Why has he been on 5 or 6 different damn teams since he been in the league?
I'm just trying to figure out like something to talk about the NFC South because really there's nothing to talk about now.
Wow, nothing to talk about.
Atlanta.
I mean, because they're gonna win the division running away.
Who?
Atlanta.
What?
The Bucks. Bucks just made the playoffs and got a playoff win.
We done won the division 4 years in a row. Why you gonna say something out your mouth like we ain't gonna be competing for the division?
DP, you want to take this one? Do you want to take this one? Because if I do it, I'm the bad guy. If I do it, I'm the bad guy.
Just because they got Kirk Cousins?
Big Kirk go.
I mean,
all the Falcons needed was a quarterback.
Yeah.
Somebody
to feed they damn weapons.
They're gonna win more games than they did last year. Absolutely.
Well, if they win more games than they won last year, then that will put them with y'all.
But we are gonna win more games than we won last year too.
I don't think so.
Our team improved.
I don't think so.
We just got a lineman from the Eagles, so our O-line is going to be better. That was a big problem. And our defense has gotten way better. On our back end, 2 bona fide corners.
Marlo, I have a question. You said they're gonna have more wins. All they had to do was win 2 games, and they was going to the playoffs and have it locked up in October.
What that mean?
Hey, all you can do is play the games that are in front of you.
That's it, brother. Hell, if my auntie had a penis, she would be my uncle.
Why is he determined to get us kicked off of YouTube? Why?
So, we ain't dealing in ill. We are dealing in facts, sir. I'm just saying. It is all facts over here. All I know is we could have locked up the division 2 weeks before we did.
No, y'all couldn't. Atlanta had the division.
All we had to do, no, they didn't. All we had to do was beat New Orleans.
What are they looking like? Do they still have Derek Carr?
Yes.
What are they about to be like next year?
Train wreck. They let go.
So I'm gonna go ahead and tell you this: the head coach is trash.
Is it
the
still
Raiders
Dennis
ran
Allen?
him off?
Was it Dennis Allen?
Yep.
Yeah. Who do they have though? Like, who are their weapons? They let go of Mike Thomas. They got Olave, Rashid Shaheed. Who else? Who's their running back? Jamal?
If we're being fair, Michael Thomas got paid a bunch of money for 2 seasons. He didn't even play.
Yeah,
100 million. Remember, he was the 100 million slap boy.
I bet he wish he didn't run that many slats in the middle.
I feel like his ankle really it was rough, man. I hate to see that.
Yeah. But I like us in our division. Did Atlanta get better? Absolutely. Carolina get better? Absolutely. But what that mean? Like we just was gonna stay where we was. They projected us to win less than 5 games last year.
So I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I poke Marlo on purpose because 1, I know he don't like his coach, and 2, I know he don't like his quarterback. So they sit here and watch him thump his chest about his team is personal enjoyment. So
I'm gonna go with what we got. I am a diehard. Now I ain't got no control over who the coach is. I ain't got no control over who the quarterback is. Y'all already know how I feel about all that. That being said, every Sunday the Bucks are playing, I will be either at the stadium or in front of a TV watching my team play.
And I commend you for that. I do. 100%.
Whether I'm pissed off after the game, or I'm walking half horse back to my car where we just started. We just started the tailgate again. That's what I'm gonna do.
But somebody got to show you some fight.
Hey, they already know. I mean, I ain't saying that I'm the baddest bear, but y'all gonna show me that y'all can fight. Y'all gonna either do it out there, or we gonna holler at you. That's it.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm the problem. We're gonna move along. TP. The Cowboys have not extended Dak. Dak is currently on a $55 or $59 million contract this season. Is Dak a franchise quarterback? Did TP let go?
What'd you say?
This is what you call Captain Petty. This has all the makings of some Captain Petty shit.
I'm just trying to ask TP a question.
This mofo.
What you said? What you said?
The Dallas Cowboys have not extended Dak Prescott's contract, which he is now on a 1 year, like $55 or $59 million contract. Is Dak Prescott a franchise quarterback that the Cowboys should extend?
It's priceless.
What's this? It's radio silence. TP, you still with us?
Should they extend him?
Yes.
For longer than this 1 year? Is that the question?
Yes.
You shouldn't be asking me that question. You should be asking why they didn't extend him for longer.
He's a runner. He's a track star.
For real.
If you are going to give a quarterback an extension, it should be longer than 1 year. So now, a better question: how long is his current contract for? Because just because they extended it 1 year doesn't mean that it was going to be up this year.
Oh,
they didn't extend it. Next year he'll be a free agent. He's playing on the deal that he fought for back in like 19 or 18 when they had a big holdout. They actually just came out the other day and said he's just going to play on the last year of the deal. They're not going to get to an extension this year.
I ain't mad at them.
Fuck no. Fuck no. They shouldn't have extended him this long. That's my answer.
$55 million?
They clearly have no idea of what they're doing at the quarterback position. They don't have any choice but to pay him because they already gave him the contract, and the options out there in the QB market right now don't look that good. So they are doing the best that they can with a terrible situation.
Let me see.
He has shown no ability to win when it matters. Yes, you can have great stats. You can have great seasons. You can be a great individual. He's a good man. I've heard all of the good Samaritan things he does for his community. You can do all those things and still be terrible on the football field. Right. And still be terrible on the football field.
I wouldn't call that terrible.
So would you call?
No, I wouldn't call it terrible. I would call him minus a clutch gene.
Yeah.
He does not have that.
Yeah.
But if I was throwing the ball to CeeDee Lamb and the damn receivers he had and had Pollard and all them running behind me, if you can't move the ball behind that O-line, you don't need to be in the league.
My answer to that question is no. He is not my franchise quarterback. He shouldn't be anybody's franchise's quarterback.
Yeah.
There's
a bunch of teams that could use him.
Yep, and they ain't gonna win. So go ahead to get him. Go ahead and get him.
It would be an upgrade. It would be an upgrade for the Buccaneers.
Ooh.
That's not false. That's not false because Baker Mayfield is even worse.
We gotta be real. We gonna keep it real.
I'm gonna die on that hill because you know I don't like Sooners anyway.
First of all, Baker Mayfield is not my first choice. I want to be very clear, but I'm going to root for Baker because he is our quarterback. But I don't think the Bucks would ever pay a quarterback $50 million nothing. I don't give a shit who it is. They didn't pay Tom Brady that much. And he came in and
Tom Brady would never take that though. Tom Brady would never take that because he's a team guy. And that's why I said Dak needs to take a pay cut. If you care about the Cowboys and you want to win, why do you need to be making $55 million? If you truly, and this is the thing that gets me, is like all these guys reset the market. And I'm not mad at it. Like, go get your money. But if you prioritize the money over the championships later in your career, don't be complaining that you didn't get a Super Bowl when you signed that $200 million contract.
He knows helped your team win a Super Bowl. He's accepted that he's never going to win a Super Bowl as a starting quarterback. Get your money. Black man, hey, y'all heard the Childish Gambino song? This is America.
Get your money.
Yeah.
Get your money.
And that's the thing. And that's the thing. And that's the thing is like, if you have the chance to make that money, who am I to say not to make that money? But if you say you want to win a Super Bowl, there are things you can do about your money to get to that Super Bowl, and that's take less of it. So we got to be real about that.
Or you can do what Ohtani did and extend and not take no money until the end of the contract.
Don't take no money.
The CBA won't let them do that.
Defer it, yeah. Why not?
CBA won't let them do that. Because they San Francisco all over again. You playing with the salary cap.
Well, they let Patrick Mahomes do it.
Oh no, he didn't defer his money. He just
didn't defer it, and he didn't.
They gave him a long contract.
Yeah. Yes, and that allows them to spread the cap out for a longer distance.
Yeah, and what Ohtani did was he took a long contract and deferred it. He did. It's like a double whammy with his. But but if you wanted to preserve cap space, there are things you can do with your contract. You can break it up. You can make it to where only incentives matter. There are other things you can do. You can take less guaranteed.
That's the thing, though. Is like that's the big thing about the contracts is it's all about the guaranteed money. Because these days, these guys sign four-year contracts with like $50 million guaranteed, and it's like really the first 2 years matter. Look at what just happened to Russ. Do you guys realize that Russ hadn't even started his Denver contract that he signed? They cut him before that contract even kicked in.
And they still got to pay him?
They still got to pay it because he was smart.
They got to pay him this year. They got to pay him this year, and then they take dead money cap hits the next 3 years?
No, they're taking dead money caps this year and next year, I believe. For like 50 and something, 50. They're like both around like 50 million, I think. It's crazy, though. It's like a total cap hit of like 80-something million or something, I think.
Basically, Denver said we are completely rebuilding this team.
Clearly, they're going to rebuild it at a discount.
Yeah, because it's going to be rookies all over that team.
They'll be picking early. They will be picking early.
So,
but do they even have a high draft pick either, though? Like, are they in the top 10?
No, they traded their high draft pick.
For Russ.
For Russ to the Seahawks.
Damn.
The Broncos. Let's look at a draft order. The Broncos put themselves in such a hole bringing in Russ. It is crazy.
And the thing was ransom for him.
But the thing that I didn't understand was when you bring in Russ, okay, let's get rid of all of our best defensive players. It made no sense. And then
they just let go of Simmons.
Yeah, Simmons is gone now.
They let him walk for nothing.
For nothing.
And he's like one of the best safeties in the league.
They can't pay him.
Facts.
They gotta go young and inexperienced.
They basically said, "You motherfuckers suck. Y'all gave up 70 points in a game. We're clearing house."
Yeah. I think a lot of people have forgotten about that now.
I ain't forgot. They let Miami drop 70 on their forehead.
And they decided not to break the record.
It was the worst exhibition of tackling I have ever seen in my life at any level of sport. I've seen my little league kids tackle better than that shit I saw on that.
I could not have been a Denver Broncos season ticket holder.
They have the Denver Broncos.
They're gonna have to see me after that.
Yeah, the Denver Broncos have pick 12 in the first round, pick 76 in the third round. They have no second round draft pick. They have pick 121 in the fourth, 136 in the fifth, 145 in the fifth. I think they picked that up. And then they got one. Yeah, they're building this from the ground up.
Yeah.
They are building this from the ground up. Look at them
12
fourth and fifth round picks.
If you think you're going to go to Denver and make some money, not for the next 3 years, brother.
Yeah. Do you guys get why Russ was such an attractive free agent signing? Because basically you can pay him the minimum, and like, I mean, man,
he got the veteran minimum, so they basically got him for free. They don't have to worry about paying his contract this year because the Broncos still got to pay him.
No cap hit.
Then they went out and got Justin Fields for a bag of chips.
Mm-hmm.
So
there's some little distinctions about the contract though. Like the Steelers still have to pay him, but the vet minimum that he's getting is coming out of the pay that Denver would pay him. So Denver doesn't have to pay him now. They only have to pay him like $38 million now instead of 39 because that's coming out like.
Right.
You know, like the Steelers still pay him, but you know,
yeah, but it ain't gonna hurt their cap at all.
1.2 million.
Yeah.
Starting quarterback.
They're not sweating that.
Right. Somebody who's won a Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I think that there's a good chance we see Justin Fields. I'm not gonna lie.
Not this year.
I think there's a good chance we see him.
Hold on. Let Sam talk.
You just agreeing. You want Sam to talk because he agreeing with you.
Sam cooking, ain't he? Sam cooking right now. Let him cook.
Is he a Justin Fields fan?
He predicted that by week 8, Justin Fields would be the starter.
I could agree with that.
But this is the thing. Why? Why would he be? Because you're assuming that Russell Wilson is not going to be performing as a starting quarterback. And what about his play is showing you that he isn't a better quarterback than Justin Fields right now?
I think Justin Fields has a better arm, has a better handle on scrambling to get himself out of trouble. I think Justin Fields can make plays and move the sticks. He only needs to learn how to be disciplined and to be able to have a line that will block for him. Like, Jesus.
And also, the Steelers have.
You really think that was his problem, Troy? His problem was not being able to diagnose NFL defenses. That was his problem. Now, if he is never able to get over that hump, he will never be successful in the NFL. Sorry.
The reason I think we can see him though is because the Steelers have no reason to play Russ if he's playing bad. They're only paying him $1.2 million. That don't hurt nobody. Like, we can bench him if he's not playing bad, we can bench him, and we got this young guy who we can build up and bring up. And, you know, he's shown that he has the ability to do some things. We may be able to teach him some things, you know?
The reason why they picked up Justin Fields, and if y'all think it's a secret, then y'all ain't been paying attention. They got Russ for peanuts, but they're hanging their hat on Justin Fields being successful. Mike Tomlin is not going to put this young kid in a situation like Chicago, who threw him to the Wolves and didn't even protect him when they threw him to the Wolves. Didn't put anything around him. Now they're going out to get Caleb Williams. Now they're supposed to be doing all this magical stuff on offense, bringing in this receiver and that person. Like, why wouldn't y'all do that when y'all had a quarterback that was capable? There, it's like y'all didn't want to win. So, but Mike Tomlin is a different coach. He is a business first coach, a player's coach. But he is going to get the best out of the players he got on his team.
Okay, hold on. Let me get this clip. Let me get this clip because Marlo's just rapping right now.
I'm telling you the facts. That's the facts. Mike Tomlin is a player's coach.
Are you a Steelers fan, Troy?
No, I am not. I am absolutely not a Steelers fan.
Why am I asking that?
I'm a Raiders fan, but I am a black quarterback fan.
Okay.
And of course they're gonna show me a commercial. I'm trying to get the clip of Mike Tomlin fawning all over. Here it is. Can y'all hear this?
No.
Of course. Hold on. Let me go ahead and play this because this is not a coach. This does not sound like a coach that's not about to play a player. It sounds like
we had one quarterback on our roster, and so we were looking at every available person on the market, or every potentially available person on the market, and so it was just part of our process. Obviously, when we got into it, and after he got permission to talk to other teams from Denver, the conversations were very fluid and natural. He did his appropriate research on us, and I think that's certain.
No, let that play. He talking about Russ.
It's 22 minutes. I want to get to. He talking about Russ, but he also talks about Justin Fields.
Who did he talk about first?
He answered the question, Marla. That was the first question they asked him about free agency.
Okay.
Person on the market.
We don't have time to listen to 22 minutes of a clip.
Who signed that contract first?
Russell Wilson signed his contract first because he's the only one that had a contract to sign.
That was who then?
Justin Fields was a trade.
I'll say this: if they felt like if they were 100%, if they were 100% confident in Russ, if they were 100% confident in Russ, they wouldn't have signed another guy who was just a starter last year. I'll say that.
They didn't have any quarterback. They only had one.
But then they had Russ, and wasn't Mason Rudolph?
That's not true. They had two. They had three, actually. They had two. They had
two
before they signed Russ.
They had two. No, they had one quarterback before they signed Russ. When they signed Russ, then they had two. And they went
and then they got rid of the kid from Pittsburgh because he felt some type of way about not being a starting quarterback.
And they got rid of the wide receiver who had something to say about Russ coming to the team.
Deontay Johnson.
Traded his ass. Like, if you don't think they are gearing up for the team, for it to be Russ' team, you crazy.
Guess where Deontay Johnson is at?
Tennessee.
I think Russ is going into training camp as the starter.
Or Carolina.
But I don't know a single football player that's like, yeah, I ain't gonna never be the starter. I'm just gonna chill. It never happened, except for Sean King. But other than that, that never happened.
He didn't think he was just gonna be a backup. Because when Sean King came in the game, he performed like he should have been the starter.
He did. I like Sean King.
Sean King was cool.
Name sound familiar. Where did he go to school?
Sean King could not stop going to Krispy Kreme, and that's what happened to Sean King.
Sean
King was on the road to superstardom.
Not when he was playing.
You love body shaming people.
Well, here we go. Here we go, spinning narratives. Spinning narratives.
It ain't no narrative. You just say that man went to Krispy Kreme. How you know what he was eating?
Not when he was playing.
Google Sean King.
No.
How do you spell his first name?
I dare you.
It's
S-H-A-W-N.
Yeah. No, it's A-U-N. It's A-U-N.
Yeah.
That's the activist.
Not that. Oh no, not that dude. No. This is Sean King from Tulane that went to the Bucks. What was he? 199 pounds, 200 pounds, something like that.
I found it.
Mm-hmm.
And then when he took over the job, he was what, 230? It wasn't all that nibbling moving around like he was at Tulane. Wasn't none of that.
Dang, I see Super Bowl champion on here.
He was the backup to Brad Johnson.
With the Bucks.
Yeah.
Hey, when Brad Johnson got to the team, who was the starter?
And he almost beat that greatest show on turf Rams team because he was the starter. He was the starter when the Rams had to beat them to go to the Super Bowl.
He did. Him
and Warwick Dunn put on the show.
They did.
So why are you talking about Sean King?
And then he discovered Krispy Kreme on Florida Avenue.
Oh my God.
It was all over.
You got like this man leave practice, go sit in Krispy Kreme parking lot for 2 hours eating glazed and jelly-filled donut.
Clearly, you thought about it.
Hell no. This man was a professional athlete
And
on a professional football
team.
Who performed?
I'm trying to figure out where we're going with this because there's no way.
I don't. No. We will. You know what? We're gonna revisit the Sean King era for the Buccaneers at a later date, because this will be a rabbit hole that Marlo ain't gonna tell the truth on, and I'm gonna tell the truth.
I'm telling the truth that this guy was a good quarterback.
I'm trying to figure out what's the
truth.
I'm
talking about his weight gain, Marlo. That was the decline. That was when everybody went, we got to get another quarterback. That's when that happened. When he was in shape, he was a monster. Also, that books, we need to, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and put this out there real quick before I move to the next subject. Lorenzo Neal needs to be in the Hall of Fame.
Name doesn't ring a bell to me. I might be too young.
He was a fullback.
He was a fullback.
He played
and everybody that ran behind him had 1,000 yards.
Was he better than Mike Allstott?
Yes.
Yes.
He blocked for LT.
He blocked for Mike Allstott.
He blocked for Mike Allstott, and he blocked for Warwick Dunn.
Wow.
The season that Warwick Dunn and Mike Allstott had 1,000 yards rushing, Lorenzo Neal was the fullback.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't get touched till they saw a linebacker.
Hey.
He was him. You know how rare it is you get on a podcast and sing the praises of a fullback?
I mean,
he was him.
It ain't too many.
Yeah, it's
a lost art right there.
Yeah.
You can get on the podcast and body shame somebody by eating Krispy Kreme. Donut. Reason why your career was over. Shit.
Donuts. Not donuts on the scoreboard. Donuts in your stomach.
So, talking about Pro Day, Jaden Daniels, Pro Day was this week. He honored one of his teammates who had came down with cancer with a shirt. There has been nothing but absolutely glowing, raving reviews from Jaden Daniels, Pro Day. Also, those two wide receivers.
Real problem.
It's something in that water down there in Baton Rouge where they get down there and drink some water, and now they first round draft pick wide receivers.
They will both be drafted in the top 20. Both of them.
Yeah. Facts.
I wanted
and Brian Thomas is like a sophomore. He's like a redshirt sophomore. He's young.
Mm-hmm. He's only 22. He's only 20 years old. 20 years old.
I hope he got a team around him.
20 or 21. He's very young, but 6'4", 4'3", 41-inch vertical, 6.2 in the 3-cone. Bruh, the physical attributes are off the charts.
Mm-hmm.
Remember DK Metcalf? This is what we're looking at.
Who are you talking about? Neighbors?
No.
No. I'm talking about Brian Thomas.
Oh, Brian, for sure.
Neighbors is a route technician.
Yeah, that's more Garrett Wilson.
That's my thing is, I didn't really see Brian Thomas run a lot of routes at LSU. I think he was a real vertical receiver. He's hella fast, but like I didn't really see him run a lot of run the full route tree at LSU. So that would be my one concern about him. But I know he's super explosive.
You can teach that.
So the reason I look at Steve Smith Sr., who should be in the Hall of Fame, I look at his breakdown of wide receivers because he give you the blood raw truth. I haven't seen his review of this kid, but when he talk about Neighbors is him and that kid from it's a Mac school and I can't think of the name. Is it?
Corley?
Yes.
Western Kentucky.
Oh my, he a Raider. He's a Raider.
Corley?
Raider, but he wants to be a winner, so he's not going to be a Raider.
I hope you stub your toe. I hope you stub your toe.
You see today they said the Raiders and Vikings are trying to move up.
No.
Move up to do what?
No, do not move up because they're gonna do something stupid. I just feel it.
You see, Devontae Adams posted Jaden Daniels today.
They're gonna ruin that kid.
They're gonna ruin him. Look,
CJ is a one-off. CJ Stroud is a one-off. Young quarterbacks do not come into the National Football League and succeed. It just don't happen. And there's a reason why they develop quarterbacks. Like, it's been that way for 50 years. You don't come, like, if you got thrusted into a starting, like, later in the season, you don't come into camp being the number one. I don't give a shit how good you were.
I don't like y'all.
See, Jaden, let me tell y'all something about Jaden Daniels. Jaden Daniels is an amazing athlete. There's a reason he won There's a reason he won the Heisman. The only issue that I've seen with him is his inability to slide or to avoid contact when
he get messed up.
In the NFL, he's gonna be a tour.
He better learn how to slide. Anthony Richardson, 6'4", 235, big dude, right?
Barely made it half the season.
Didn't make it out of week 5. Because he didn't know how to slide. He was taking hits. When he played my Texans, concussion protocol. Oh, he don't want to slide? We got something for you. It's called concussion protocol. We'll see you in 2 weeks. Jaden Daniels, they compare him leaving the pocket to a child driving a Lamborghini.
Damn.
Now,
he's real thin. He's real thin too.
Yeah, he's not the biggest dude. He kind of reminds me of Pat White.
Wow.
But he
that
has
was Oklahoma?
No, West Virginia.
West Virginia.
Yeah, but he can throw better than Pat White. Here, listen. If the Raiders trade up,
he can throw better than Pat White. He can.
If the Raiders trade up for Jaden Daniels, this defense will end up giving up 28 points a game.
Wow.
Why? Who would you like them to draft? Where are you guys picking in the first round right now?
13.
Who would you like them to take at 13?
That far back, y'all record was not that good. Like, y'all had to.
They almost made the playoffs. They had a chance to make the playoffs.
They were like 2 games out of the playoffs, either 1 or 2 games out.
But who would you like them to take, Troy, at 13? What position group would you like them to address first?
Cornerback.
They better take Quinion Mitchell.
Cornerback.
If he's there.
Where he played in the MAC, didn't he? He's like Toledo or something.
Yeah. Toledo. Yeah. They better.
Who are your corners right now? Who do you guys got? Marcus Peters?
Nobody.
Y'all don't have Marcus. Wasn't Marcus Peters there last year?
Yeah.
Wait, Jack. Y'all got Jack. Y'all got Jack.
We got who?
Jack Jones.
He's there, but he wasn't the best corner. The best corner was Hobbs. Hobbs was the reason why we could blitz.
Where's he at?
Gone. He gone. Never to be spoken.
Where'd he go?
He just went away. He just
where'd he go?
Wait, is he with the Bucks now or something?
Hold on. He got. This was the last. Wait, what? Hold on. I might be wrong. No, is this?
I don't know. I think
24. No, he's still there. He's still there.
I think you guys can address the cornerback position at another time, just like we saw with the Texans. I know, Marlo, what you're talking about. I know you're saying like CJ Stroud was the one-off. I would probably agree with that. But I think if you have the potential, like we saw what CJ Stroud did for the Texans. Now, I'm not saying Jaden Daniels is going to be CJ Stroud, but if you have a chance to get a quarterback, do you trust Aiden O'Connell or who you got there right now?
No.
So if you have a chance to get a franchise guy, why not get him now in the first round?
Well, you basically saying we gonna tank the season Because now they don't have a running back. They lost a bunch
Josh
of
is
defensive.
gone.
It's like they got holes everywhere.
We got based on our needs and what's available at 13, we can address defense. Our next pick in the second round. Listen, I know nobody don't want to hear this, but I saw the combine. Joe Milton is for real. What he did to Alabama is for real. What he did to Georgia is for real. Like, the kid is for real. He just got injured.
You guys still got Mike Mayock?
No.
I'm about to say, because I mean, y'all first round draft picks the last like 10 years have been abysmal.
The best
I wouldn't want to get drafted by them.
So this is what needs to be said.
I don't think Tyree Wilson was the worst pick. I just don't think he was the best pick at that spot.
Yeah.
I think El Diablo was a bad pick because he can't play physical defense like we need him to. They thought
he was at Houston, right?
Yeah, we thought he was going to be a Derrick Brooks. He's not. He played safety in college for a reason. He light. You can't put no bricks in his shorts. He don't get bigger. He just fast.
Wait, who's El Diablo? Are you talking about Tyree Wilson or who are you talking about?
No, Divine Diablo.
Okay. So where was he out of? Because I think Tyree Wilson was out of Houston. Where was Divine Diablo?
Nah, Tyree Wilson went to Texas Tech.
Texas Tech, that's where it is. I knew it was somewhere down there.
Yeah, he went to Texas Tech. But Divine Diablo, I do not remember where he went to school at, but he was a safety. And they brought him in.
They moved him to linebacker?
Yeah, they converted him into a sub-package linebacker, but he does not help at all in run support. And that's where they were.
Virginia Tech.
If he came on the field, it was run the ball up the middle.
Yeah, he's 6'3", 223 pounds.
Yep.
That's a good, strong safety.
That is. He's actually smaller than Sean Taylor was. So they didn't tell Sean Taylor come play in the box.
Damn sure. He had to.
Remember, we had some linebackers leave.
But here's the thing for your Raiders, for we spend the whole night talking about them. If Quinyon Mitchell ain't there at 13, trade out that pick. That'll be the best thing y'all do for like ever in that franchise. Trade out of that pick. Get 2 second rounders. Trade to the bottom portion of the first round. Try to pick up another second, maybe an early third, and go from there. Because there are too many holes on that team. You're not gonna fix your team with the 13th overall pick, and it ain't the best player on the board.
Yeah.
Did you guys let Jacoby go, or do you guys still have Jacoby Myers too?
No, we still got Jacoby.
Okay,
we got the 2 wide receivers were good. We need a tight end. We need a lot.
Well, y'all got Michael Mayer.
Decent. Decent.
So anyway, this week,
Doing my heart good.
Prime went on a podcast, and when he actually went on Gilly and them podcast, and they asked him about where he thought his players would go, and Prime said that it's a few cities that they won't go to, that they're Eli, is what he said. And
he probably talking about your team.
Let me tell you something. I don't want either one of them.
Why not? Travis
don't want to win.
Shador?
He don't want to win.
That's not it. That's not it at all. So stop doing that. One, Shador, for me personally, I have this thing about my quarterbacks being tall and with some weight to them. Because in our division, right? Yeah, he's 6'1". In our division, quarterbacks get tapped a lot. That's why I don't think Justin Herbert's going to be the quarterback everybody think he's going to be, because he's been tapped a lot. So in that division, you get tapped a lot. You got to be big and strong.
He big.
So Shador is not big.
No, Justin Herbert.
Yeah, exactly. And he getting tapped. What do you think a little quarterback like Shador is going to get?
Yeah, you saw what he went through last year at Colorado in the Pac-12.
He got hit the most in NCAA.
Yeah, he was getting tapped too when he was at Jackson State.
Anyway, so I don't want either of them. And Shiloh is again, he's a smaller version of El Diablo. He's fast, he can move around the field, but
what about Travis? Would you want Travis?
Travis.
You can't say you wouldn't want Travis.
I absolutely love. Don't get me wrong. I love Travis. But what am I getting Travis at? What am I getting Travis at? Like Travis is like the big riddle. What are we getting?
You probably get him as a corner.
If we get him as a corner, then yeah. Oh yeah. No. A corner? Yeah.
But he's got to play both sides of the ball. They will have packages. Wherever he goes, he will play on the offensive side of the ball. If you can get two players in one, as a owner, as a coach, you will definitely use that.
Yeah.
Hey, you don't even have to recruit that receiver spot.
Hey, remember
but if you're good at two positions, if you're good at two positions, you're great at none.
Yeah, remember James Trapp for the Raiders? And they thought they could do that little thing with him. I don't want to ever see that again.
Yeah. I think he's got to specialize.
I don't think so. Because if you would have told Dion the same thing, you would have been wrong.
All right. So now
who's done it? Who's done it at a high level since then?
Do with that. We're not finna invoke Dion's name.
No, but Dion I'm just saying.
Did not get pumped on national TV by a Canadian. That never happened.
Who got pumped on national TV?
Are you kidding me? Did you see that Stanford game? I can't even say that kid's name.
Oh, yeah, he put that boy.
Did you?
Hey, big body, head tap. Give me that.
Do you know that kid is only 6'2"?
Yeah, he's not that
only 6'2".
If you play football long enough, there are going to be plays made on you.
No, Marlo. We're not talking about plays. We're talking about the entire game.
Yeah, like 220, I think.
You are going to get a game where you are not at your best. But I would take Travis Hunter over a lot of these DBs that's out there playing right now. His ball skills are crazy.
I agree.
So, will I make him a full-time cornerback, most of the time receiver? Hell no. But would I have plays in there for him? Absolutely. That kid is too much of a talent not to. But he is a lockdown corner though.
So Colorado's going to lose week 1 to NDSU. I said it now.
So I'm gonna go ahead and just be fair. And we built up Travis to be almost godlike.
Nope, not me.
I'm not saying
most people did.
They built him up to be almost godlike. And he needs to understand that every person, every receiver he lines up against, it is their national championship.
Absolutely.
And there were games, well, the game really is just the Stanford game. The Stanford game was just ugly. It was ugly. And the NFL looks at you at your best and your worst, and that has to be his worst.
Yeah, but him at his best.
But that's what happens when you play 160 snaps a game.
Yeah, it's gonna happen. You can't play both sides of the ball. And
which is why I say if I get him as a corner, I'm cool. Let's go.
I don't think he's gonna go in the draft as a receiver though. His primary position is gonna be corner.
And I'm gonna move this along because we still weeks away from the draft, so we'll have a draft special.
He's not going in this draft.
No. Is Notre Dame hurting college football by its independence?
Why? Nope. I saw that on there. I wanted to ask you, in what way, if you're on the side that says they're hurting college football, in what way are they hurting college football?
So one of the votes in the ACC expansion to allow Stanford and SMU in was Notre Dame approving of them being in as a full participant in the ACC when Notre Dame is not a full participant.
Do they play other sports in the ACC though?
Yeah, they play basketball and Olympic sports in the ACC.
Oh, okay. Okay, I never knew that. I thought they were all independent. That's interesting. What? I don't think it's bad for college football. I mean, I don't know why it would be bad for college football.
There was a time when Florida State was independent with Notre Dame and a few other schools. So it made sense to be independent because you didn't necessarily have to play a 12-game schedule against the SEC or whoever. And you can go play the best teams in America and you have a beautiful resume and go play for a national championship. Mm-hmm. I think Penn State was independent forever, getting bids to national championship games that they ain't deserved. Yeah, I said what I said. Anyway, so it made sense. Now when we have playoff tie-ins and all these different rules, and Notre Dame by themselves, and make no mistake about it, it is the Notre Dame Broadcasting Channel.
Yeah.
They get a bid if they're in like the top 14 in the nation.
No, they can only be, since they're not in a conference, the highest seed they can be is 5.
No, I mean they get a bid to the playoffs if they in the top 14 in the nation.
Oh, I have no idea. I didn't see that, but if so, that's insane.
So
if they're top 14, they get an automatic bid to the playoffs?
Let me see.
That don't even sound fair.
Make sure
I could see them doing that, but that don't even sound right at all. That's messed up if they did that.
All right, so the commissioners in Notre Dame agreed that the conference champions from the ACC, SEC, and Big 12, and the highest ranking Group of 5 champions will earn playoff berths. Notre Dame will have protections that will survive regardless of the ultimate format. So if they're in the top 14, they get in.
That's crazy.
So how many teams are going to the playoffs?
12.
I don't know how the
first round buys.
Because it's only 4
still a committee.
And then they get an at-large bid. They get an at-large bid.
They get an at-large? Wow. So they're going to make it every year, basically.
No. Because I don't think they'll be in the top 14 because they got issues over there.
Yeah,
the big thing now is going to be the rankings. If you're outside of the top, if you're not the conference champion, those rankings are going to be they've always been big, but it's like how the committee judges the level of competition, all of it, it's going to be huge, man. Like, and there's going to be, I think there's a lot of discussion about where they're ranking these teams.
And that's four extra games if you want to go to the championship.
Yeah, I think it's 3 or 4.
That's a lot of.
No, you only have to win 2 games to get to the championship. Three. If you play in the first round, you have to win 3. If you play in the second, if you got a first round bye, you only got to win 2 to get the championship. Yeah.
So it's 4 games. If you playing in the first round, you got 4 games.
Yeah, 4 total to be champion.
That's a lot. That's almost like an NFL season.
But I like it that way. I ain't gonna lie. I want more teams in a playoff format, just like they do in the FCS, so that you give a Cinderella a chance to happen, just like the NCAA tournament. You give a Cinderella story a chance to happen. Imagine if UCF gets in 2015 or something like 2016?
Oh, 2017.
2017. Imagine if they got in that year. Who knows?
Who knows?
Who knows? Because they beat Auburn, who beat Alabama.
They ain't playing no defense, but they damn sure put up points. They liquor defense.
We had a highlight reel dedicated to them that season. They was
who, UCF?
Yeah, they was the greatest show on turf.
They're damn good.
Yeah. Oh boy. Make sure. I think we already talked about the NCAA. Did we talk about the NCAA wanting to ban on prop bets? Did we talk about that?
No, we didn't talk about that. I saw that though.
Yeah, so the NCAA wants to ban prop bets because they've discovered they may have some issues. And like I said on the last podcast, when it comes to betting, at the end of every day, any irregularities get reported to the authorities in that particular jurisdiction. So if it's an internet property, it gets reported to the feds. If it's Vegas or Tampa or whatever, it gets reported to those local governing bodies. Apparently, there have been some inquiries into NCAA games. And so because of the issue in Toronto, the commissioner of the NCAA has said, hey, let's just go ahead and get rid of these so we don't have a problem. My issue is you openly got in bed with the gamblers. Now you got a problem. Kind of seems like a cart before the horse type of deal.
Yeah.
But, that's just me. I'm surprised Mondo ain't got nothing to say about that.
Wait, but is the NCAA partner with any betting partners, or is that just the NFL?
That's just the NFL, but they have, I don't want to say turn a blind eye.
Turn a blind eye. What they gonna? They can't do nothing about it.
No, that's Iowa and Iowa State athletes.
If they can lobby Congress about some NIL, they can lobby Congress about this too. They choose not to.
Well, they're not really. I mean, Congress isn't really on the NCAA side right now. The NCAA is trying to get bailed out with all these transfer portal rules and these NIL rules, and the Congress has told them multiple times, like, we're not going to be the ones to bail you out. Like, y'all made this bed. Y'all the ones who championed amateurism. So y'all deal with this. Y'all make the right regulations that'll be right for these kids. Like, why are you guys now coming to us? We not gonna save y'all.
I think that's like a pimp being at a house, a brothel, saying it was immoral for the women to be in there. It just don't make sense.
It don't. Hey, DP, remember when we was like, we need more Malo?
Yeah.
We getting it.
I'm just saying, like, if you can think that it makes sense for you to pay a coach $10 million and the athletes that these coaches are putting on the field shouldn't get nothing, that's wrong. Like, it doesn't make sense.
I mean, it's wrong on a lot of levels too.
It's just crazy.
It's wrong on a lot of levels.
That's the NCAA. They don't really do anything, but everybody over there making 6 figures plus. Like, why are schools funding the NCAA? Because they're a governing body? Like, what? They can miss me with this.
Zach, one of the chatters, Zach McKenna, I hope I'm not saying it wrong, brought up that Alabama baseball coach got caught betting on games last year.
Well, you said Zach McKenna?
Yes.
I think I know that name.
Yeah. Former head of the Alabama. Yeah. Last spring, gambler who bet against the Crimson. Wait, he bet against his team?
Yeah, I do know that name. He runs FCS. He runs FCS Football Central.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I knew that name from somewhere.
Oh man,
I don't understand coaches doing, like, if you get caught gambling and you're a college coach, it is something wrong with you. Like, it's literally, you have missed your portion of common sense. There is no point that you can think you can get away with it. Like, it's zero possibility. Like, it's just the dumbest thing you could do. I don't know. I'm not gonna go on no tangent, but that's some dumb ass shit.
Oh, I like when Marlo get his bag. When he starts saying portion, Marlo in his bag. Marlo is in his bag.
See,
well,
look, when Marlo think it's some dumb ass shit, he's not gonna hesitate to tell you that's some dumb shit.
That is just dumb. Like, you risk being able to provide for your family for what?
Like Calvin
bet
Ridley.
that you for what? $15,000, and you missed the season.
The nerve, the unmitigated gall of these.
And then it makes it worse when you look at how much he's supposed to make that season, and then how much he was betting on the game. It's like, bro, you were willing to risk it for that.
For that.
Like,
yeah, I ain't never felt that good about anything that it'll make me jeopardize my livelihood. Like, okay, drinking, I don't know, I don't feel that good about that. I ain't never smoked weed. I ain't never did drugs. I'm not finna do none of that to jeopardize my livelihood. Like, what? Why would y'all know it? They told you the rules. It ain't like they ain't know.
Yeah.
The rules are, don't bet on football. Okay, we're talking to you. Don't you bet on football. Yeah. Do you hear me? Okay. It's off the team for a whole year. Man.
So, all right. So I'm gonna touch on something real quick because we kind of running over, but I want to make sure I get it in. Norfolk State's men's basketball team, they claim the CIT basketball title. So congrats to them. Johnny Black will be coming to visit y'all to make sure he get y'all squared away. AD Sykes, we saw the Langston game in the national championship, NAIA national championship. Is that my coach? I feel like that's my coach. We've been watching him all season, like, do something at an HBCU that was said couldn't be done. And it really looked like that's my coach, especially the way they was just shooting threes. Shut up, TP. Like, with no conscience.
Dan Tony.
No, he don't go there. He just couldn't help it. I just want you to know that my coach. The Gulf Coast Atlantic Conference has announced a partnership, a merchandising partnership with CLC. So I will try to follow up with that. I am going to request an interview. We've had a few people say, hey, go ahead and interview her. She's a great interview. I just got to put together my package for the interview. So I want to make it look nice and, nice and professional, because we are a fan podcast. And I wanted to let her know, hey, we're a fan podcast, but we really want to do this interview and, give her a good old, it's not going to be a fluff interview, but we're going to make sure we're very friendly to the conference. Because what she's doing
might want to put me on mute. I'm going to say what I'm going to say. I ain't got nothing wrong to say to her. Now I'm going to start there. But, it going to have to make sense. We're going to ask about it. Just saying.
But anyway, it's going to be great. So I am working on that interview, and then we got a couple other interviews going. But the reason that I asked Samuel back, because Samuel has played football in a portion of America that this is relevant to. Utah coach. Was it Utah State coach?
Utah women's basketball team in Idaho, staying in Coeur d'Alene.
Yeah. So I've heard George Reichster, who played at Oregon, shared his story about that same place. Mm-hmm. So just to catch everybody up, the team had to move hotels because of the racial overtones, threats, whatever you want to call it, while they were staying there. So they moved, and it was so
harassment and intimidation.
So it was so bad that the coach had to speak out on it during a press conference. So I know you played football in that portion of America. How, enlighten us on, have you had to deal with anything like that?
With the big trucks and, people revving their engines, that's something definitely, and especially over COVID, that we had to deal with. Not ad nauseum, but, you get those good old boys driving around town with American flags hanging out their car, revving their engines, big lifted trucks and stuff. But, I have heard things about Idaho and that, that's the way things are. And, I've spent a ton of time in Coeur d'Alene, Boise State. Like, we have to drive through Idaho to go to Washington. My fiance's from Seattle. So, we've spent tons of time in Idaho, and that does not surprise me at all. And you see people online saying that these women are lying. They can't find video proof that this actually happened, and they got to be lying. Why do they have to lie? What do they gain from lying about that? They are in the midst of the NCAA tournament. What are they going to gain from lying about that to anybody? Please tell me. Why would they come out, open their mouth, and lie about that? For what? What does that do for them or their program? And it was actually more than, I can't remember the other team, but they weren't the only team that faced this. First off, why in the hell were they even staying in Coeur d'Alene when it's 30 minutes outside of Spokane and the games are being played in Spokane? It's not that long of a drive, but why not just find a hotel in Spokane? So that's on Gonzaga. Like, the situation should have never happened. Even if they are staying in Coeur d'Alene, it should have never happened. But why are they staying in Coeur d'Alene? I don't know. There's a lot of things wrong with, and then they held the press conference the next day or 2 days later, whenever it was, for the, I think somebody within the mayor or somebody of the town of Coeur d'Alene was addressing the situation. And you have some freedom of rights group in Idaho that is basically protesting the press conference. They don't want them to talk about it, or they don't want, I don't know, but the guy was speaking over the guy on the mic and they had to end the press conference. It's just, I don't know, man. It just pisses me off, and it just makes me angry for those women, because, it's like, man, like, some people are just like, I don't know. Some people are just so insensitive, and it's just sad.
Stop sending their kids to these schools. Like, yeah. You gotta take a stand somewhere. Like, I'm not gonna subject my child to open racism, or, like, if they're playing in a conference where I know all the schools they're going to compete, it's gonna be some racial bull stuff. No, I'm not sending my child there. Yeah. And I'm sure they have options.
I don't know, man. I just think it's pretty, it's just sad, man. And then just all this relates to all the DEI stuff. It's like, you can say what you want about DEI. You can say that, it's right, it's wrong, I don't care. But just, like, basically anything Black in professional America is now DEI.
Yeah.
The reason they're in that position is because of DEI.
What does DEI stand for?
Diversity, equity, inclusion.
Equity, inclusion. It has become the boogeyman in every legislature in the state.
Oh, yeah. Florida's attacking it big right now, aren't they?
They're trying to.
Yep.
But Florida is going to end up shooting themselves in the foot trying to over legislate. Like, it's like these people don't think.
DeSantis is doing a lot out there. I ain't gonna lie.
Yeah, he ain't got no long game, bro. He know this is last hurrah, so he's gonna try to do. What kills me is he says all of this stuff. He was a history teacher. Mm-hmm. you're informed about the actual facts of history, but you go and you say some of the most outlandish things about history, especially
is Florida the state that was
people.
taking CRT? Is Florida the state that was taking CRT out of the curriculum?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
By the way, there is no CRT in high school, middle school, or elementary school curriculum. Just want to put that out there. But
in Florida,
I'm going
in
to
the
go ahead.
Florida?
Yeah. You know, having a 7-year-old in Florida is interesting. I'm gonna go ahead and move along because I know this will get long and dark and yeah.
Yeah.
Again, I want to thank everybody for coming out, joining the chat. Thank you. I did not see Oppo. If you came in tonight and I missed you, my bad. It's been a crazy week because I got a 7-year-old getting ready to be 8 next week, and apparently he wants to take all his classmates to Adventure Island. So, yeah, that part. I am not.
Just get a charter bus, load them up.
I do want everybody to know that Uncle Marlo is the reason that I have to have conversations with Ash mom sometimes.
Why am I the reason? I didn't do nothing.
Really? What championship?
Hey, you gotta be a winner.
Anyway, I want to go ahead and I can't even swallow. Again, thank everybody for all the support. We have launched. You can find the Madness Basketball Podcast on iTunes now. Give me a couple weeks; it'll be everywhere you consume your podcast. But that is now on iTunes now. This week I have gone out, and if you know me from way back, I would support streamers by gifting subscriptions.
Yeah.
And as I don't go watch video game streams as much, I'm starting to gift HBCUs. And gifting HBCUs makes me feel the same way as I did with gifting DK, he's a Madden streamer, and gifting TP, who's also a Madden streamer. I get the same feeling but different by gifting. And this week, with the NCAA tournaments and HBCUs making hella noise in NCAAs, I said, you know what? I can do this. So we created the bookie Johnny Black and created the fake bet. And that's how we got the Johnny Black payoffs. So that's what I'm doing. So a lot of people that see me on Twitter doing that, that's what that is. That's my way of giving back, because now I can just give back to HBCUs. I will still pop into an occasional stream from time to time. And hey, here go, a gifted subscription just to show love. Because
you better not give no damn Bethune-Cookman. Damn what? HBCU, the other one. Gremlin. Them two.
I've already gifted. Yeah. I've already sent Gremlin a gift. Just because you and Yard Talk got beef, let it go.
I don't have beef with her. Don't say that. She TP. Good people.
TP.
She good people.
TP.
I'm just saying, she good people.
Yeah, okay.
Damn.
That's my story.
All it takes is one time.
That's my story. I don't know no other story. That's what you sound like.
Hey man, she good people. Now, when she came back on the show, did I say anything that was out of the way, or
you did not? You did not. I'm giving your credit. You
stayed on your best behavior that time.
She is good people to me now, but at school, fuck them.
Fuck them.
Fuck them.
Wow.
Seen that coming.
TP, what you got for us this week, man?
Oh, starting with me. Well, I told you earlier I didn't want to turn into Dr. Umar. So I'm gonna just leave it alone and let it marinate for another week. We're gonna see how this whole trial with P. Diddy and everything go, because I know it's a lot more information to come out, and I feel like it's targeted outside of just him.
You think he's
Because
innocent?
no, absolutely not. But I don't think he's the end all be all. I don't think that he is the
main guy.
Yeah, I don't think he's the main guy. If we know anything about money, we know that money runs the world. And if all the people that are involved, there has to be people with more money than him that pull the strings. He's the face.
People were talking about how he just sued Revolt, and now all of a sudden this comes down.
Exactly. He sued the Ciroc company for $60
million.
the
Ciroc company.
Yeah, he sued the Ciroc company, and now all of this information is coming out, and there are so many names that are within the lawsuit against him, people that are in very powerful positions. And I'm not going to name names because, I like walking this earth. I don't want to be in the earth. You know what I mean? So I'm going to just leave that as it is. I feel like it's targeted as a way to take down Black America. I think that they are looking at a lot of powerful people of color that are going to be included in this lawsuit. Now, I don't know if everybody involved is as heavily involved as they say they are, or if they're not. If they're just money, whatever it is, there's going to be a lot more to come from it. But I also don't want us to get distracted with this. We had a terrorist event happen and the government ain't really talking about it. My thoughts and prayers go out to the people in Baltimore. I don't know if that was an isolated event or if it's just something that's pre-built into something that's going to explode into something worse. We don't know at this time. It's all speculation. So I'm going to just keep my thoughts and prayers to the people that lost their lives tragically in that event. But that's my time for y'all this week. Same time, same place next week. I got you.
Marlo, sir.
Oh, this is a really exciting time of year for me. Like, people think just because football season was over that it isn't a lot of sports going on. And it is. Like, it is. We got the new football league about to fire up. We got baseball firing up. We got NHL getting crunk. We got you got March Madness going there. This is a good time to love sports. And I said it last time. If you are betting on sports, please do it responsibly. Don't be out there betting what you can't bet. Or if you do win, don't give it back. Take a win. Don't just throw more money at it. But having said that, enjoy, go out, see some of these WNBA games that's going to be firing up. It's going to be lit because these females are balling. If you can catch a live game, it is very, very, very entertaining. It does not look like it do on TV.
Great fundamental basketball.
Yes. So that's my shout out. And oh yeah, fuck Bethune-Cookman, and I mean it. I ain't gonna say Grambling this time because y'all talk, but you know.
Samuel.
Man, I don't know if I got speeches like TP and Marlo, but UFL is about to start, just like Marlo said. I'm super excited about that. You guys know I played in the USFL this past season or last summer. So I got a lot of former teammates, a lot of guys I know in the UFL, and I'm super, super excited. I'm going to be actually breaking down some of those games on my channel, once they start playing. So that's going to be really exciting. I'm really excited about that, Got women's tournament about to continue. Are they playing today or they play tomorrow and Saturday?
They play tomorrow. The men's are playing tonight.
Okay. But men's tournament, women's tournament, just like Marlo said, a lot of good basketball going on. Summer's about to be here sooner than we know. You know, so I'm excited about that. Trying to think, man. I'm just, thank you guys for having me on again, man. Glad to see you guys. Glad to have the laughs. Glad to, talk sports, talk whatever you guys want to talk about, man. It's always a good time with you guys, and appreciate you guys bringing me on, man.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir.
And you said, Sammy, you said that FCS Central.
Yeah, Zach McKinnell. That's FCS Football Central. That's
Central.
his.
Okay, got it. I'm already
FCS
following.
Football Central. Yeah.
Okay, yep. I'm already following. Again, thank everyone for coming out. Cool. Thank everyone for coming out. Again, the Madness Basketball Podcast will be Tuesdays at 8:30. And for Marlo, TP, Samuel, make sure you follow Samuel Akim. Got it right this time. On YouTube. Like and subscribe. For all of the guys at the Gathering of Old Men podcast, we are out. Oh, this is going to be different.
Oh, doing it on your phone?
Yeah, it's different because I'm on my phone. Actually, I'll do it like this.
Really let them have it this week. We got Marlo in prime fashion.
I don't know what y'all think about that. I just be saying what be on my mind. I think about some stuff. Yeah, man.
Man.
I just be having questions. Like these motherfuckers do the dumbest shit and they make a whole lot of noise and then watch. It ain't gonna be nothing about this Ohtani thing.
Hey, this thing still say you recording, Troy.
What you saying? They gonna sweep it under the rug, Marlo?
Hell yeah. They ain't nothing. It's a news cycle.